I'm Mary Brunson. Today I'm joined with Kurt Ritter, Senior Business Developer for TIAA-Cref, and John Foucault, CEO of Points North, a company that specializes in solutions for integrating payroll data. And we're here today to talk a little bit about some of the pain points of diocesan retirement plan managers, specifically diocesan CFOs, and how they go about converting from a defined benefit world to a defined contribution world, and some of the hurdles that they need to overcome in the process. Can you gentlemen share with me a little bit of some of the pain points that the CFOs are experiencing when they go to make this transition?
I think initially the issue is you're seeing some of these groups, they're focused on shifting from a defined benefit plan to a defined contribution plan.
Right.
And inside of that, there's a few challenges. You're looking at many of the parishes and the schools that are part of that diocese, whether it be an archdiocese or regular diocese, shifting over from a payroll process that's controlled at the parish or school level.
Right.
So there's a few challenges there inside of administering the plan with best practices because of that. And John, you may want to comment on that as well.
Sure. You know, it's very desirable for the schools and the parishes to have their own internal operational platforms, such as payroll providers that they utilize, as opposed to being required to use a specific payroll provider across the country. So as a diocese moves into a different type of benefit plan structure, offering up a solution which is less intrusive to those individual parishes and schools is obviously a more beneficial model and something that's easier to actually implement.
So that way they don't have to go through that horrible process of converting to a single payroll provider, or heaven forbid everybody have to agree on which payroll provider they want to use. And this has to be kind of helpful too for the bishop who wants to keep everybody happy and doesn't want to get into kind of a political mess of trying to mandate that a conversion happen. So in the past, we've talked about consolidating payroll and how that practice is something that needs to really happen in order to establish a great low-cost defined contribution plan.
You're exactly right, Mary. For TIAA-Cref, the key is to consolidate the payroll data coming from all the different entities. So if there's a diocese that has 155 parishes and 10 schools, they need to have that data consolidated for one file for best practices and lowest cost for the providership opportunity. And in doing so, with the products that we offer, we allow the individual parishes and schools to still operate with their internal platform. We don't consolidate the payroll, so to speak. We consolidate the payroll data. And as we consolidate the data, we then feed it off to TIAA-Cref in a single format, in a single file, which is much more cost effective.
Well, and it's far less invasive because you're not having to go in and change everybody's processes.
You're exactly right. If you have 156 parishes and you have 10 schools, in order to change everybody to the same payroll platform, it's going to take 18 to 24 months. It's not something that they can do overnight with everybody. You typically do it in stages as a rollout, 24 this month, 25 next month, 30 the following month. So that whole process to change benefit providers and that plan administration can take much, much longer. This way, when you leave their internal operations alone, the benefit provider and the plan administrator can come in and start providing benefits and greater cost savings much, much faster.
Well, it sounds fantastic. Kurt, have you had any experience with this particular program?
Actually, we have. I mean, recently, one of the large archdiocesan plans made a choice to freeze their defined benefit plan and then bring on a defined contribution plan to replace that. And basically, Points North was chosen from the payroll standpoint, or to provide the information as a feed to us to facilitate a very low-cost model for their new defined contribution program.
And that's so far so good on that one?
It's in the implementation process, but yes, it's great. It's working out rather well, and we're in the process of implementing the program.
And what we've found out is this is becoming a best practice, if you will, to allow the internal operational platform to stay as it is, less invasive, but to have something that sits between that and the plan provider to take all of that payroll data in, consolidate it, and then put it out to the benefit provider.
Well, that sounds outstanding. And I'm really pleased to know about you. We didn't know about you until, oh gosh, just a few months ago we saw you at the Diocesan Fiscal Managers Conference. But you know, it changes the whole landscape for us in terms of what we're able to provide to our clients and prospects about what they have to undertake to transition their plan. So it's fantastic. Now, it's new to us, and I think it's new to a lot of dioceses, but this platform that you've created called Who's Where is not new at all to the nonprofit world now, is it?
You're exactly correct. It's been around since 2003. It began in a partnership with the YMCA Retirement Fund for servicing all of the YMCAs across the country for their 403B plan, to actually consolidate the eligibility tracking into our product for every YMCA across the country. And in doing so, we were able to bring a much more streamlined process to the YMCA Retirement Fund, leave the internal operational infrastructure alone at every single YMCA. And then in doing that, we provided this solution to the 800 plus YMCAs across the country in very short order.
Wow. Well, you know, I'd like to get a little bit more of a deeper look into what you actually did with the YMCA and how that's worked over the last almost decade now. So I think we'll cut here, and then we'll pick up that discussion in segment 2.
That sounds great. Thank you, Mary.
Thanks, Mary.